All right, so on the video before, I said that I'd try to find the survey for this. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the survey because I did find it. So I'm going to type in XREF to bring in the drawing. Come up here once XREF pops up. You're going to use your external XREFs and you're going to attach a drawing. When I attach the drawing, it's going to be called Lab 6 Survey. We're going to change some of the colors. Go ahead and put it as an overlay. Overlay is better than attachment. I'm not going to get into all the reasons why, but go ahead and select overlay when you use an external XREF and leave everything unchecked. It'll automatically fall in the right coordinate system. All right, so it's not the best color to be able to see, and I want you all to be able to see it. So I'm going to type in LA for layers. And here's a nice cool feature is to isolate the layers that I want to change color. You can go to the XREF and go to Lab 6 Survey. I'm going to right click and I'm going to say select all. And I'm going to click on the color. And once I click on the color, I'm going to change it to 254. Usually this prints out light, but I can at least see it in the background. We're going to be turning a lot of this stuff off, so I'm going to use my freeze. So I'm going to go lay freeze or use the little freezer button. So you're going to pick the points to freeze off. This is the problem. The layers are on layer 0 when they were created, which is bad. We don't want that. All right, so escape out of that, type in LA again, and turn your layer 0 back on because that's going to cause a problem if you don't. So just be aware of that. When things are created, you should create them on their own layer. It's best layer management practice. Don't put information on layer 0 that you'll need to try to freeze off in another viewport. So I'm going to type in XList to see what that layer is actually on. It's called points in. So, and I'm going to do that again, XList, and I'm going to pick what the contour layers are on. So they're going to be on topo. So type in LA. In here, you can actually, I'm sorry, I didn't even need to touch that. In here, you can type in star P, I can't type, P in, and then anything with points, highlight them all. I used shift and selected them all, and I'm going to freeze them. I should have froze that one too. The other thing we're going to freeze off is anything that says a contour, and I can't spell, C-O-N-T. So we're going to freeze those off because contours do not need to be on. For the most part, we're only looking at the survey. All right. So other things that it could be called. So I'm going to type in XList again. XList. I got a new keyboard and I can't seem to be typing on it. Topo, major. I'm not sure. Oh, that's why. So I go star topo, star, and I'm focusing. I'm just going to turn everything that has to do with topo off because we don't need that in a plat. All right. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and freeze off and see if I can actually use make sure it's not on layer 0. Use the freeze button to get rid of the rest of the stuff. I don't need the plat information. We'll retype that. And text. All right, there we go. We're going to freeze off the gray text because we're going to be creating our own down here. So you can see now I've got the breaks and shows where the actual lots are. Okay, we'll end up having to either copy or trim those because if you look at our plat, it doesn't show up those lines in between here because when you plat something, when you plat over the top of something, you lose the internal lines. Okay, so everything that was in here now it's no longer correct information. Our plat overwrites all these lot lines, okay? So, and that's the nice thing is we can use this information in the background. We'll probably have to retype it so it looks nice, and then we'll unload the lab 6 survey. But let's go ahead and continue on with the project. So I'm not going to tell you what to type here. You know, we've already got this kind of started set up. So the biggest information that we need from the survey is what I brought in. So you can find where the lots are. You can, you know, bring in the text that's missing and clean it up. So in essence, what I want you to do is basically create. I don't have this information. I don't have this side, so don't worry about that for right now. But what I'm looking for you all to create is, you know, oops, I can't even draw. Never mind. I am horrible at this. That freestyle drawing. I'm just going to use rectangles. What I'm looking at you all to create is what I'm going to highlight. So I want everything in here. I don't know if I can add a point. I'm going to try something different. Let me get rid of that. Let me see if I can do a polygon. So you should be able to give me, based on the survey that I gave you, you should be able to give me everything that's within this red boundary, okay? So I anticipate for this assignment that everything within this red boundary is what you're going to give me. Okay, so you need to type up all this information or get it off of the survey. Okay, so you can copy and paste the information, and that's fine. A lot of this information is given to you, so it's your job to clean it up the rest of the way. So that would be page 2. Okay, so that would be page 2. I also don't like looking at, I'm going to type in OP. I don't like how it's white like that. It's just hard to see. So I typed in OP for options. I'm going to go to display and I'm going to go to colors. And it is the paper background for the sheet and layout. I'm sorry, it's the uniform background. And I'm going to change it. You can change to any color you want, but I'm going to change to that so I can see it. Now, the other thing that I want you all to see is over here. It's got this little rectangle that you need to put plat book and page number. So on your drawing, you're going to come over here and you're going to create a rectangle. And it's going to go from endpoint, and I'm just going to drag it out to here. And this should be on, I'm going to put this actually on layer 0. Okay. And the other thing is you'll want to create, I'm sorry, it's not even there. It's this one up here. Move. F3, I'm going to snap to this endpoint. And I'm going to move it to this endpoint. All right. So what you can do is you can kind of get a feel for the laying out the plat. Now you can use any style, text style that you want. This is, I believe, Romanesque. I'm a fan of Arial personally, but you can use whatever you want. Now, to create this key map, this is what I do to create the key map. And everybody has different ways of doing it, so I'm just going to show you how I do it. I am going to highlight. I'm going to select everything in here. And I'm going to go Control Copy, Control C, And then I'm going to come over here to home, and I'm going to paste as a block over here. Okay. Now, by doing that, that allows me to scale this to something smaller. So I can scale it down. Escape out of that. I can scale it down to 1/10 of its size. You have to do it in all directions. Z, not so much, but X and Y, yeah. And I'm going to control copy that smaller. And I might want to do it even smaller later for the cover or my sheets. Control copy. And then I'm going to go to, just to see scale-wise how it looks on sheet 2, and go paste as a block. See how big, oh, it pasted my original one. Whoops, oh well. So on this one, I can go 0.01, 0.01. If I could type, give it a second. Everything's been moving really slow for me today, so 0.01, enter. That might be too tiny, which it is. So let's go 0.05. There's not a specific measurement to this. It's just basically what really does look good. And that's 2, we'll get there, 0.25. 2.5, and enter. All right, so that's better. Now, the other thing that's on here, you know, that we've got is the text. I could probably go inside and freeze the text off, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. So that's my key map. So that's an easy way to make a key map. Now, I'll take that back. I am going to take the text off because that's gonna look bad. I'm also going to freeze off or get rid of the dashed lines. And now to do that, and this is what a lot of the surveyors do, is they copy and paste the block like that. I know with both the companies that I worked with, that's exactly how they did it. All right, so what I'm going to do in here, I should have exploded that. Anyway, so I'm going to select all and delete that. I'm going to right click and select all and delete that. And I'm going to delete that piece of text as soon as I can grip it. That piece of text and this piece of text, delete. And I'm going to select that and go right click, select all. And I'm going to delete those. All right. And I'm going to select the center line, select all, delete. Now this is really important when it comes to layer management. Can you imagine if those were on the wrong layer? Then you'd possibly be selecting things that you didn't want in case, you know, somebody put it on the wrong layer. Select all and delete. All right. And delete. And I'm going to save this block. Save my block. And I am going to close my block. Okay. All right. Probably should have changed that layer of that, the lines to continuous lines to make it look a little bit better. Maybe later I'll fix that up. All right. So now I have my key map. So you're gonna give it. You're gonna label it key map. So let me take a quick look to see how this looks. So I'm going to go print We may have to work on our colors to make it look good when we get done. I'm going to leave monochrome, and I'm going to change that to window. Make sure it's connecting. Shift right click. Snap to that corner. Snap to that corner. And apply to the layout. Center plot. Now apply the layout. Let's see what it looks like. Hopefully it looks pretty good. Fingers crossed. Not bad. That's not a bad size. Like I said, we might need to clean it up a little bit, scooch this over a little bit to make it look more so like this. So that looks better. You'll need a legend. Give yourself a company name. And a north arrow and a scale. Our scale is 100. Remember that this project was actually a replat of another site. So you can actually go in and get this plat book and see what the replat is. But like I said, you're making your page 2 look like everything within this red boundary. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at page 3. So I'm going to stop here and be right back.